Chinese warriors could march for days without stopping. They could fight for hours without gassing out. Modern soldiers train twice as hard and break half as fast. So what were they drinking? It wasn't coffee. It wasn't energy drinks. It was 3 specific herbs that modern endurance athletes are just now understanding. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what it was and how to make it yourself. Modern endurance training is obsessed with intensity. You push to maximum, you run harder, you train longer. Creators sell you HIIT protocols, lactate threshold training, peak performance frameworks. The appeal is obvious. More intensity equals better results, right? But here's what most people miss. Warriors didn't build godlike endurance through willpower or brutal training. They built it at a cellular level. And it came down to what they put in their body before the fight started. Endurance athletes today are just now rediscovering what Chinese military commanders knew 2,000 years ago. The limiting factor isn't your muscles. It's not your mental toughness. It's your cell's ability to produce energy consistently over extended periods. You can train hard, but if your mitochondria can't produce ATP fast enough, you're gassing out. Your joints are inflaming. Your nervous system is degrading under the load. That's not a training problem. That's a biological preparation problem. Modern sports science treats endurance like a muscular adaptation. More strength, more power output, more intensity. But warriors understood something deeper. Extended performance requires a different kind of preparation than single-day training. Here's the gap. Most endurance content talks about training methods. Nobody talks about the cellular foundation that makes training effective. That's where the real advantage lives. But here's what's fascinating about how warriors actually prepared for this. For thousands of years, Chinese generals faced multi-day campaigns, armies marching for weeks, soldiers fighting for hours without stopping. The selection pressure was brutal. If you couldn't maintain performance over extended periods, you died or lost. So military strategists didn't just develop training protocols. They developed nutritional preparation that addressed the real limiting factor, cellular endurance. Here's what a warrior's preparation looked like. Morning ritual before campaigns. Specific tea blend, not breakfast, not caffeine. A formula designed to do 3 specific things. First thing it did, reduced inflammation. Extended fighting causes systemic inflammation. Inflammation causes pain. Pain causes you to slow down. This herb kept joints and muscles from locking up during multi-day exertion. Second thing, increased oxygen utilization at the mitochondrial level. Warriors understood that multi-day campaigns deplete ATP faster than your body can replenish it. This herb gave your cells the raw materials to keep producing energy. Third thing, stabilized nervous system under sustained stress. Endurance isn't just physical. Your nervous system gets fatigued. It degrades under load. This herb helped the nervous system adapt to extended stress without crashing. What's elegant about this system is that it wasn't a hack. It wasn't a drug. It was a precise combination of herbs that addressed the actual biological constraints of extended performance. Modern endurance training addresses symptoms. Train harder, push through fatigue, build mental toughness. Warriors address root causes, optimize the cellular foundation so extended performance becomes automatic. The mechanism is straightforward. If your cells can produce energy efficiently, if inflammation is controlled, if your nervous system can handle sustained stress, extended performance happens naturally. You do not need willpower. The biology handles it. That's what this tea did. It wasn't superstition, it was strategy. Here's what the research actually shows about how these herbs work at a cellular level. The 3 herbs in this formula target 3 distinct biological systems, and the research on each one is clear. Herb 1, Cordyceps. This fungus does one specific thing at the mitochondrial level. It increases ATP production. Your cells use ATP as their primary energy currency. More ATP means more consistent energy production over extended periods. Studies on Cordyceps show significant improvements in oxygen utilization and aerobic capacity. One study on trained athletes showed a 12% increase in time to exhaustion after Cordyceps supplementation. That's not marginal. That's the difference between completing a multi-day campaign and collapsing on day 2. The mechanism is simple. Cordyceps increases the expression of enzymes involved in ATP synthesis. More enzymes, more energy production. Your mitochondria just work harder. Herb 2, Rhodiola rosea. This adaptogenic herb addresses inflammation and fatigue at the systemic level. Extended performance triggers inflammatory cascades. Your immune system activates. Cytokine production increases. That inflammation is useful short-term, but over days, it becomes a liability. Rhodiola reduces systemic inflammation without suppressing immune function. Studies show reductions in inflammatory markers like IL-6 and TNF-alpha in athletes performing extended endurance work. Rhodiola also improves perceived fatigue and mental clarity during sustained exertion. Mechanism: Rhodiola contains active compounds that modulate the production of stress hormones. It reduces cortisol dysregulation. Lower cortisol means lower inflammation cascade. Herb 3. Korean red ginseng. This is the nervous system component. Endurance isn't just about muscles producing energy. Your central nervous system has to maintain drive and decision-making capacity during extended stress. Ginseng contains ginsenosides. These compounds modulate neurotransmitter production. They stabilize dopamine and norepinephrine levels, which govern attention, motivation, and sustained focus. Studies on athletes using ginseng show improved, sustained attention during fatigue and reduced mental degradation under extended physical stress. Warriors could stay sharp for multi-day campaigns because their nervous system wasn't crashing under the load. The combined effect is synergistic. More ATP production from cordyceps means your muscles have energy. Reduced inflammation from rhodiola means joints and tissues can handle the work. Nervous system stabilization from ginseng means you maintain decision-making and drive. Together, these three herbs create exactly what warriors needed. Cellular level endurance, not muscular strength, not training volume. Cellular optimization that makes extended performance automatic. Here's what's important to understand. These herbs aren't creating anything new. They're optimizing systems that your body already has. They're restoring the biological foundation that extended performance requires. Modern endurance training assumes the foundation is there. Warriors understood you have to build it first. And here's why understanding this difference matters for how you prepare. Here's what we actually lost. For thousands of years, humans maintained cellular endurance through herbal preparation. Not because they had access to fancy supplements, because they understood the mechanism. Extended performance isn't about willpower. It's not about training intensity. It's about having the biological capacity to sustain energy. Production, manage inflammation, and keep your nervous system sharp while everything else is breaking down. What's elegant about the warrior approach is that it addressed the root cause. Modern athletes optimize for symptoms, train harder, run faster, build mental toughness. Warriors optimized for biology. That's a completely different framework. Instead of asking, how do I push harder? Warriors asked, what does my body need to perform automatically? Modern life removed this knowledge. We replaced herbal science with pharmaceutical culture. We replaced cellular optimization with pharmaceutical intervention. We replaced preparation with intensity. The result is that modern endurance athletes are working harder than warriors ever did. Training volume is higher. Intensity is higher. Recovery technology is better. And we're still getting worse results on extended endurance tasks. Why? Because we're training hard without optimizing the biological foundation. It's like building a house on sand. You can frame it perfectly, you can paint it beautifully. But if the foundation isn't there, the whole thing collapses under stress. Warriors understood that foundation comes first. Cellular endurance comes first. Then you train, then you compete. Here's the pragmatic takeaway. You have two options. You can optimize your training like modern athletes do. More volume, more intensity, more data. That works to a point, but it's inefficient because you're working around a compromised biological foundation. Or you can do what warriors did. Build the cellular foundation first. Prepare with herbal optimization. Then train. The research is clear on this. Cordyceps, rhodiola, and ginseng work. Not because they're magical, but because they address the actual limiting factors in extended performance. You can test this yourself. Take the warrior's tea for 2 to 3 weeks before your endurance work. Notice what changes. Better pacing early in the workout. Faster recovery. Mental clarity that doesn't fade after hour 1. The warriors knew. Preparation beats willpower. Biology beats intensity. The modern warrior's endurance tea is simple. You don't need the exact ancient formula. The principles are what matter. Here's what works. Cordyceps, 2 grams daily. Rhodiola rosea, 500 milligrams daily. Korean red ginseng, 1 gram daily. Combine these in hot water. Steep for 5 to 10 minutes. Drink 30 minutes before extended endurance work. Consistency matters more than perfection. Warriors drank this daily, not just before major campaigns. Your nervous system adapts to it over time. Your mitochondria upregulate the enzymes that Cordyceps supports. Your inflammatory response stabilizes under the Rhodiola protocol. This isn't a quick fix. This is foundational preparation. Drink this tea for 2 to 3 weeks consistently, then do your endurance work and notice what changes. Better pacing. You don't gas out early because your cells are producing energy efficiently. Faster recovery. Inflammation is lower because Rhodiola is controlling the cascade. Mental clarity. Your nervous system stays sharp because ginseng is stabilizing your neurotransmitters. The warriors knew this. It's why they could perform for days. Not because they were tougher, not because they trained harder, but because their cellular foundation was prepared. The strongest bodies in history weren't built on intensity alone. They were built on understanding what happens at the cellular level. This tea is one piece, but it's the piece modern training completely misses. If this changed how you think about endurance, subscribe. I'm breaking down the ancient systems that modern athletes are just rediscovering. And comment, are you going to test this? What's your experience with adaptogenic herbs?